What's up guys, it's Anime Soul. I'm back to give you guys another walkthrough on one of my designs. Now before I sit here and record over and over and over again, I'm just gonna go ahead and straight up admit I kinda suck at these voiceovers. As far as supply lists and everything that you might find as necessities, anything that I might leave out, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep that stuff designated towards the Instagram and the website. But what I wanted to give you guys with these videos, my main focus is just kind of how I approach a pair, since I can't cover everything, in one go. So with this pair, was an Inosuke design, Demon Slayer. This pair was actually something that I started after I was coming off of not doing a pair from being sick. So I was kind of in that mood of not knowing, if I still got it or not. And this pair in total took close to 6 hours. I was actually really pleased and really surprised with how well it came out after not touching shoes for a while. But one of my main focuses coming in was actually the color palette way in advance. His color palette was something that I wasn't used to working with. I'm used to working with vibrant colors, so I was kind of setting everything up to have a muted tone. At the very beginning of the video, you saw me go through a watercolor pencil, and I was leaving some areas bold and some areas really, really light, and that's because I didn't know which sections I was gonna hardline the most. Like right now in the video, you see where some of my lines are really thick and bold and black. I kind of set that up with the watercolor pencil. As far as when it came into the eyes, and you see the blue watercolor pencil, that was just for safety measures. I didn't want to do anything brown and then be blending in that area and pull in and distort that tint that I wanted, because that blue is going to be very, very pale. Usually on a pair like this that I'm doing a character and a background, I like to set up some type of trinket to arc over the front and through the toes. On this pair, I didn't do that straight out the gate. I kind of saved that for his breath, the aura, and for the background in his sword. So it was already a unique pattern to approach the pair with. Right now what you see me doing is I'm dropping in the warm grays, which is honestly something I don't ever work with. I'm used to toner grays. That's kind of my color palette as far as grays. I saved the ears and the eyes and everything for last, simply because when you drop a base tone to something, to a character's face or whatever, structure, like a Gundam or something, when you get to the eyes, it's really easy. It's really easy for your color to bleed out, and so when you have a color that's kind of already taking up that space, it kind of keeps it in its area, like a border, like a coloring book. Right here, I'm dropping in skin tones. This is a really basic palette that I use for just about all my pieces. I have that on my Instagram as well for those of you that might be new to the channel. And I use actually use the same palette as well for the fur. I just went up some darker tints. Now I want to say, here in a minute, I'm about to get to the background. This is really important while I'm trying to speak on it ahead of time. What you see me doing with the background is very organic. Unlike Inosuke, it's not something I can just plan out and draw and hardline. Everything is kind of done all at once. It's kind of why it's my favorite part, because it's very expressive. It's very similar to painting. What you see me doing here is I'm dropping in the line work for the trees and kind of getting everything placed out, knowing that some of that stuff is going to change and be washed out with the alcohol and the Copic. Every now and then you see me pull out this little gray tool. That is actually an electric eraser. I use that eraser to kind of pick the lead up off the shoe, so that way when I hit over it with the marker, it's not so potent and it doesn't distort what I'm working with. These liners right here are very pivotal to a background. They're called Statler liners. I use those liners to pretty much make the detail in some of the finer objects, either in the foreground or in the very, very back. You'll see me use them in the trees as well to kind of take away the flatness. As far as when it comes to colors, there's really nothing that I can explain in these videos to you guys besides get your own experience and play around with color. Color is super important to learn, and the only way you really get that down is experience. I can lay this palette out for you all day, but until you play with it yourself and use it in a way that's going to benefit you, you're not really going to take anything from it. As far as this, you know, pretty much the rest of the video is cake. It's all you know, just me finishing out the background, pulling together my references, and building composition, making everything come together. I really would appreciate some feedback in the comments, though. I mean, anything, like shit, something to help me make these walkthroughs a little better. I'm not sure what you guys are looking for. You know, since I've been doing this for so long, I'm actually, you know, I'm the first shoe designer to use Copic, so all I can do is really just go about how things I normally would. I'm not sure how everybody else is approaching because I can't sit there with you guys, or else it'd be a lot easier to teach. So please leave some questions in the comments. Let me know what you're looking for, as far as, and please be specific on like what. Some detailed questions would really help, because that helps me kind of nail what to explain next time. But yeah, no, these videos are going to be pretty simple, just me talking over and trying to get something down for you guys, get a form, you know, something to approach these voiceovers with. But enjoy the rest of the video. I appreciate you guys. It's pretty straightforward from here. For those of you that are more likely learning from this, you have some if you know, some experience with the shoes. If not, you know, you've been following me for a long time. So some of these things are super familiar. I don't feel like I have a whole lot to explain. But yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and let's get this YouTube channel going.